Death gives you a terrible kind of clarity. After dying once, I remembered every single word in my niece Chloe's diary. She'd written, August 15th. Aunt Ellie bought me a new phone, but she got her daughter the latest model. It's her way of reminding me I'm just an outsider here. She forgot that I took her in when no one else would. She forgot the sleepless nights I spent by her bedside when she was sick. She forgot that to save her from feeling like a second-class citizen in my own home, I bought two of everything. None of that made it into her diary. Instead, I was beaten to death by her ignorant, brutish father, my own brother, over a fabricated argument. When I woke up, reborn, the clock was ticking backwards. It was August 14th. In front of the whole family, I placed two identical, brand new, top-of-the-line phones on the table, one for my daughter, Annie, and one for Chloe. As my niece's eyes widened in a performance of surprise, I stroked her hair, my voice as smooth as honey. Chloe, honey, your dad will need to pay me back for the phone. I just fronted the money for it. And since the factory is struggling, maybe it's a good time for him to settle up for all your years of room and board, too. I set the two identical boxes on the coffee table, one in front of my daughter, Annie, and the other in front of my niece, Chloe. Chloe's eyes lit up with a look of practiced surprise, a performance I knew all too well. I smiled and gently patted her head. Chloe, sweetie, I fronted the money for this phone, but it's from your dad. It was $9.99. Just remind him to transfer me the money, okay? I paused, letting the words hang in the air. And speaking of which, with the factory having a tough year, now is probably a good time for him to square up for your living expenses for the last 8 years, just so we're all on the same page. The air in the living room turned to ice. My brother, Mark, froze, his mouth half open, a sunflower seed forgotten on his tongue. His eyes, small and hard, bulged. Ellie, what the hell are you talking about? Are you trying to shake down a kid for money? His wife, Brenda, chimed in, her voice a shrill nail on a chalkboard. Exactly. You make good money. What's the big deal? Chloe looks up to you like a mother. Are you trying to stab the girl in the heart? As if on cue, she pulled Chloe into a dramatic hug. Chloe immediately buried her face in Brenda's shoulder, her own shoulder starting to shake with practiced sobs. Her eyes, peeking out at me, were red-rimmed and filled with a theatrical sense of betrayal. In my last life, that would have been enough. I would have crumbled, apologizing, forcing the phone into her hands, probably slipping a $100 bill inside the case to smooth things over. But now, looking at that angelic, tear-streaked face, all I felt was a cold knot of nausea in my stomach. This was the same face that had watched impassively as her father beat me to the brink of death. The same girl who then quietly closed her bedroom door and turned her music up to drown out my dying gasps. The same girl who, after my death, inherited everything I owned, wore the designer clothes I'd bought her, and lorded over my daughter, Annie, calling her the little charity case. Looking at these parasites, I let a serene smile touch my lips. Mark, Brenda, you misunderstand. I'm not asking the child for money. I'm asking you. I reached under the coffee table, pulled out a notepad and pen, and began to calmly lay out the facts. Chloe came to live with me when she was 10. It's been 8 years. Clothes, food, school fees, private tutors, summer camps. I never let her go without, did I? Mark and Brenda's faces soured. What's your point? Mark snapped, spitting his sunflower seed shell onto my clean floor. We're family. You don't keep a running tab. Oh, but you have to, I said, meeting his gaze directly, because I can't afford it anymore. As you know, my little design studio isn't doing so well this year. I'm facing bankruptcy, so going forward, you'll have to take care of Chloe's expenses yourselves. Bankruptcy? Brenda's voice shot up an octave, sharp enough to shatter glass. Don't you dare pull that crap, Eleanor. I saw you with a new designer bag just last week. You're broke? My ass. I smiled and turned to my own daughter. Annie, sweetie, would you unlock your phone for mom? Annie obediently handed the phone over. I opened the Amazon app and showed Brenda my order history. You've always had a sharp eye for these things, Brenda. Take a look. It's a knockoff. $15, free shipping. When business is bad, you have to tighten your belt. Brenda squinted at the screen, her face a comical mask of disbelief and disgust, as if she'd just swallowed a fly. Chloe looked up, her eyes wide with genuine shock this time. The brand new phone box in her lap suddenly seemed to burn her hands. I ignored them and pressed on. I did a rough calculation, Mark. Over the past 8 years, I've spent well over $50,000 on Chloe. I'm not asking for all of it. Just pay me back for the tuition and food costs. Let's call it an even $30,000. The rest, you can consider it my graduation gift to my niece. $30,000? Mark shot up from the couch. Ellie, have you lost your mind? Where are we supposed to get that kind of money? I stared at his face, twisted with rage, and felt nothing but a cold, dead calm. No money? I asked with a soft, dangerous laugh. Between you and Brenda, you bring in over $6 grand a month, don't you? The problem isn't that you don't have it. It's that you'd rather spend it on yourselves, eating out, playing poker, than on raising your own daughter. He was speechless, his face turning a blotchy purple. He'd been hit where it hurt. I turned my attention back to Chloe, my voice once again gentle. Chloe, I know you're a smart girl. Your parents work hard, so you need to be more understanding. If you like the phone, have them pay for it. I smiled brightly. If not, I can just return it tomorrow. It'll save me $1,000. With that, I took Annie's hand. Come on, sweetie, let's go to your room. Mommy will cut up an apple for you. My words, a perfect blend of sweet reason and cold steel, left my brother with nowhere to go. He couldn't argue, couldn't fight back. Consumed by impotent rage, he snatched the phone box from Chloe's lap and slammed it onto the floor. Fine, Eleanor, you win. Who needs your goddamn charity phone anyway? He pointed a trembling finger at me. But you won't see a dime from us. Not 1 cent. Let's see what you can do about it. He grabbed a stunned Brenda and a shell-shocked Chloe by the arms and stormed out, slamming the door so hard the pictures on my wall rattled. The heavy security door shuddered in its frame. Annie flinched, gripping my arm. Mommy, she whispered, are you really going to make Uncle Mark pay? Are they going to hate us even more now? I straightened a crooked painting on the wall, then smoothed her hair. A sharp pain lanced through me. My sweet, naive daughter. In my last life, her kindness was the reason that family of vultures was able to pick her bones clean. Annie, listen to me. It's not about us making them hate us. They've been taking advantage of us for years and acting like they were entitled to it. I looked into her wide, worried eyes. What mommy is doing now is taking back what belongs to us. I'm protecting us. She nodded, not quite understanding, but trusting me. I knew this was just the beginning. Sure enough, not 10 minutes later, my phone rang. It was my mother, on her usual crusade. Eleanor, have you lost your mind? How could you demand money from your own brother? Have you no shame? Chloe is your flesh and blood. The familiar tirade began before I could even say hello. It was the same speech she'd given to anyone who would listen after Mark killed me. In my last life, after Mark's accident with me, it was my mother who wailed and insisted it was a family dispute, that I had simply fallen. She eagerly signed a formal letter of forgiveness so he wouldn't have to see the inside of a jail cell. Her reasoning, whispered to a relative, was, Mark is all I have left. What would happen to me if he went to prison? Eleanor is already gone. It's the last thing she can do for her family. For her. The irony was acid in my throat. I gripped the phone, my knuckles turning white. Mom, Chloe is my niece, yes. But isn't Annie your granddaughter? I've been raising Annie on my own while also supporting Chloe. When have you ever worried about me? I shot back, my voice low and steady. You conveniently forget that I paid my own way through college by waiting tables, don't you? There was a brief, sputtering silence on the other end, followed by an even more furious outburst. Your brother is struggling. It's your duty to help him. Do you enjoy tearing this family apart? I'm telling you, Eleanor, if you dare take that money, I won't have you as a daughter anymore. Fine, I said. What? She sounded genuinely shocked. I said, fine, I repeated, the word tasting like freedom. If you think your son is more important than your daughter, then from this day on, you can consider me dead. And when you get old, don't come looking for me. Your precious son can take care of you all by himself. I hung up, blocked her number, and tossed the phone onto the couch. The world, finally, was quiet. I dragged a dusty old box out from under my bed. Inside was a meticulously organized collection of receipts and bank transfer records for every major expense I had ever paid for Chloe over the past 8 years. I'd kept them initially as a sentimental record, something to show Chloe when she was older so she would know how much her aunt loved her. Now, they were my ammunition. I laid everything out, took clear photos with my phone, and opened a spreadsheet. Room and board, estimated conservatively at $250 a month, came to $24,000 over 8 years.